morning and welcome to Rose Red Homestead. Today for this Micro Moment Monday, what we are going to be doing is comparing the difference between canned apricots that have been hot packed and raw packed. If you watched our apricot video last week, you know that we bought a whole box of apricots from Fry's Fresh Produce, one of the places we have been visiting on our Discovery series. And the apricots were wonderful. I said in that video that I generally 100% of the time can apricots using raw pack. But this time I wanted to try hot pack because the recipe stated that raw pack does not do apricots very well, but nevertheless they give the recipe for that if that's what you want to do. So less than desirable if you raw pack. And I've been doing that all my life and the apricots have been delicious. But I wanted to try the hot pack just to see. And you may remember if you've seen that video that I was a little disappointed with the turnout as I was putting them in the jar. Now these are the hot pack on this side. I got 3 quarts plus a pint. And I got the same with raw pack over here, 3 quarts and a pint. And by the way, you'll notice that I keep my lids on. USDA recommends removing the lids. The reason for that is that if these are going to break seal, we don't want to have it clamped down. Well, I don't remove my rings, but I do keep them on the jars. It's just more convenient for me. I just keep them very loose, and I don't double stack. So this gives the lid plenty of opportunity to break seal if it's going to. Now, as you observe the difference between these two, you will notice that I was able to get more apricots in here on the hot pack in the jars because they just were already, by the time we boiled them in the syrup, we just had to bring them to a boil, that's all. But it took 20 minutes to get it to a boil. Meanwhile, the apricots were cooking. Now, there's 5 minutes difference in processing time between the hot pack, which we do at our elevation for 35 minutes, and the raw pack for an additional 5 minutes, which is 40 minutes. So you can probably see that some of these look a little mushy because they are. Over here in the video, I mentioned in the video when I did the hot pack, I mentioned because the apricots that were so hot, the recommendation from the USDA is to put them in the jars cut side down. I couldn't do that when the apricots were practically mushy and so hot I could not touch them. And I said that that is not really important to me, that I've never worried about that, but I decided to give it a shot over here, and it was really quite easy. It didn't take me much additional time at all, maybe a minute or two is all. And they really do look nice with the cut side down. So they're prettier on your shelf if that's important to you. This one, you will notice, looks a little bit different than the rest. I had a little bit of siphoning in this jar, and so this is a good time for us to remind ourselves that if we have this much liquid that siphons, because it was clear up here at 1/2 inch headspace, so it lost at least, it looks like about a cup of liquid siphoning. And so all of the fruit is now sunk down below the liquid level. As long as the jar is half full of liquid and the jar has sealed, there is not a problem. It just looks a little bit different, and the tops that are exposed to the air may darken just a little bit, but it will not affect the taste of it at all. So now we're going to do the taste test between these 2 pints. And wasn't it fortunate that I got a pint out of each way of doing it so that I wouldn't have to open up 2 quarts, which would be an awful lot for us. So here's the hot pack. And I'm just going to try to get a couple of apricots here. These are really mushy, very, very soft. And I love the apricot juice. These are soft, but they are not mush. And a little juice. So Jim's going to get a close-up. Hot pack right here, raw pack right here. So there is a little bit of difference, and you will notice in this jar, like for instance, this one has lost its skin and it's just very mushy. Okay, so now I'm going to do a taste test to let you know what I think. And I love canned apricots. Very soft. Not a lot of texture, it just kind of slides right down. And over here, the taste to me is identical. The texture is identical. They're both very, very soft. The difference that I see is that these are in better shape than these are, but in terms of the taste and the texture, they're just pretty much identical. So that's kind of the comparison. I will continue to do the raw pack. I prefer raw pack. It's easier, fewer steps. Even the extra 5 minutes of processing time is not a big deal. And if the results taste the same, look the same, have the same texture between the two of them, then I will go for raw pack. So I hope this is helpful to you and might help you make a decision in terms of what you might choose to do apricots. So this was a fun comparison. Thank you so much for being with us on this Micro Monday. We appreciate you so very much, and hope that you are sharing the information on our YouTube channel with others that might also find it helpful. So we will see you very soon for another Micro Moment here and there as we continue with our Discovery series, which we are now usually showing on Mondays. So see you soon.